Hello guys, it is Claw, and if you didn't know recently, a bit of stuff happened on Animal Jam, and I figured that it is enough come to my attention that I should probably make a video on it, just in case you haven't been informed by any other YouTubers that you watch who play Animal Jam, even though you probably do, and even if you play Animal Jam yourself, you'll probably notice some changes with items, so I'll just go into detail right now. Basically, I'm going to get to the point, and then I'm going to explain it. Animal Jam released a new adventure called the Forgotten Desert for Eagles only, and you can get anything in it. Anything member. That means rares don't exist. I'll get back to that point later. So, I'm going to give a brief history of rares, and, well, like, including me. Okay, so rares, I think, were originally created, like, the symbol rare, like, where is it, something? Let's go see. Rare. I think that was originally created with Rare Item Mondays, and those were just released normally, and then there was also the monthly gifts back when those were a thing, and those eventually became rare, and so rares became kind of this like stereotype that were good items, except for the Rare Item Mondays were not really good items unless they were unreleased, or unless they had been out for a really long time, so less of them were known to exist. So one that comes out like right now, like, let's go see, go figure out, maybe it's in the shop. So look at that. That is, that's a glitch. That is not rare because anyone can go buy that. But something like the flower bracelet or rare flower bracelet has been out for a really long time, and you barely find anyone with it. So that's kind of technically rare, though some people still like, oh, it's still rare on Monday. Or, that. Nah, that's kind of weird. I don't know why it does that graphical glitch, but those are rare. Those are rare at Monday. They were the first. Actually, thing about those, the rare lion fish armor. Most people don't know they were they were the first new item for Rare Item Monday. The previous ones have been other ones. The first Rare Item Monday had been rare gloves, and I think the second were Medusa masks, and they were somewhere in there. But those didn't get the rare symbol. Rare gloves came back later. I won't go into that. And fox hats. No, I think fox hats might have been second, and Medusa mask might have been third. Those two might be swapped. I don't remember though. I did research. But then, and bat wings actually never been a rare item Monday. They were just an item like released in the beta for Halloween. I'm not completely sure in history of them, but I know those came back. So other ones, those are exceptions to coming back to the stores in Rare Item Monday. But get back to the point. So these were released, and rares kind of were made. And recently, starting back with the adventures, we'll go into things. Non-members have always had the bad side of rares. That basically most people didn't recognize it back then, but rares didn't exactly exist for them because any non-member item, rare or not, could be won in Sky High. It just took a while because the game was so long, and it could be any item, any store-bought item, or it could be any item in the game. So I have actually won a sword in it. I think that's the best thing I've won. Non-member sword. It was like the purplish color, but most people didn't recognize them, so they're still kind of rare. Except when Adventures came out, and then the non-member, like when they released the hard mode to the Adventures, then any item could be one of the thing, and then basically everyone accepted that non-member rares didn't really exist, and anything that members had wasn't rare. And then all the good non-member rares came out. Actually, before the Adventures, I know fox hats came out, and everyone freaked out about them, and then people were already arguing that they weren't rare, and then rare gloves came out, and then batwings came out before those, or after fox hats, but before rare gloves, and then freedom wings came out at New Year's party. So basically, non-members, if they stuck to non-rare items, they couldn't really have any rare things. And then for the members, what basically happened was the same thing for the Adventures. The one that obviously, even with time coming, will never become non-member unless they make Eagles non-member, which would be kind of cool, is the Forgotten Desert. And basically, depending how the thing works, is there's like a desert that used to be all populated and stuff until Phantoms took it over, and for some reason, a guard change with the Phantoms guarding it, because they apparently just have free Phantoms anytime to just guard this stupid desert. I didn't really get that. Apparently it takes 17 minutes I don't know why 17 minutes or something like that. But in between that 17 minutes, you have to collect like gems, and I don't know what happens if you collect all the gems, because everyone I've seen do it, because you need 4 people to get all the gems, because there's one, you need like 4 people sitting on it. You can play the adventure without 4 people, but depending on the type of gems that you get, you'll get different items, and that can be spikes, or just like Halloween stuff, the rare Halloween stuff, or a rare on Mondays, or other stuff, or just non-member things, or unreleased items. That's where we're going to this. If you haven't noticed, we'll go back in time. Unreleased items, I think, was the first one was with Snowy Claw. She is quite. Aw, dang it! Ah, no, I clicked off the screen. Ah, yeah. Nah, dang it! It's a glitch. Well, what's supposed to happen is on her snow leopard and on her purple kangaroo, she has lavender gazelles. And originally she had them on a horse, so people didn't really notice them, thought they were black ones. And she says the story behind it was a buddy gave them to her a long time ago, and she didn't remember the buddy's name. I'm not sure about that. Someone, I won't say who, said that they thought that Animal Jam HQ gave them to her. And maybe it could be like if it's a gift. I don't know. Maybe that big. Or maybe she did get scanned at that? No. Or her buddy figured out this method, I'll get to the method later, and gave them to her, them because they wanted to have it, or the person didn't want them because they didn't want to be traced to it. I don't know, these are just theories popping in my head. Basically, people liked this, and then Snowy Claw got hacked and lost her lavender gazelles, and someone else, which has just a bunch of random letters as a name, I don't remember how, had them, and I think those were Snowy Claw's one, and I don't know what happened to that person. I don't know if they still have them, but apparently Snowy Claw got them back from what she said is probably a storage account. She doesn't want to go into that, which I understand, and I respect that, because she's Snowy Claw. Check her out, youtube.com/AJ Snowy Claw, I think, or AJ, or like, yeah, AJ Snowy Claw, I think that's the one. Or her blog, Animal Jam Spirit, sponsors, not sponsors, but that's what happened to lavender gazelles, and people really like these, and people pointed out that with other gazelles, there were unreleased items, because back in the beta, gazelles, like the gazelle things, horns, mech helmets, you go with the mech wings, another item that aren't rare for non-members, and pigtails, not beards, all colors were released, and everything else. Those were the 3 ones, I'm pretty sure, that had unreleased items, and the deal with this, they sold in original colors. For the gazelles, it was black, red, pink, and purple, and like / orange, and those are the colors. But Animal Jam also coded in different colored gazelles along with other things that they didn't release to the public, but we figured out did exist. The code did exist in that you could see in games, that such as Best Dressed, where they would appear as the item, and also Falling Phantoms, where bots, if you don't know, bots are things that if they don't get enough people to fill in the game, they're just Animal Jam things that are kind of coded to go with like the best way, and it'll just be given random items that people don't really use often. They can usually be seen by really odd looks in different colors, and they can be wearing an unreleased item, though that's kind of hard to tell now because those items came out, but I'll get into it later. Like, even people like Donut made a video and showing off white gazelles and them, and people had theories that it's like, oh, well, they must have been released or something, and so, and there's like some beta account out there that has green gazelles because that's one of the types that wasn't released. But here's the thing, someone did come up with these items. I think the original was XX Flaming Fire. I don't know what happened to him. He probably switched account because that happens a lot. But I know that, I'm pretty sure it was Wootmoo made, I think that was the one I saw it, who made a video, and then also like Pepper was gonna do an interview on him. I don't know. But basically, he had beards and gazelles and pigtails and mechs, and including the beards, but like that, he had like orange beard as well, but excluding those, he had unreleased items of these, and people were like proving as this theory. But no, here's the thing, I noticed this a long time ago with someone that I was looking at random videos that didn't like him. Anyways, it was Darklight67. I think he just kind of quit, which is good because I didn't like him because he was kind of a bully. Here's the thing, if you get like a parent's permission and then you contact HHQ and have like a parent there, which is really just a kid, because if you're doing this, why can't you have a parent? Like, most people just do this with a kid. But you can say you got scammed of certain items, and it's supposed to be for the best, but they will give you those items back, and I think the max is 5 at a time. I think you can only do it once, maybe. Oh, no, I think maybe you can do it multiple times, but you like have to have a break, or else you're really stupid. Basically, Angel Jam's so stupid that people notice that you can get them to give you unreleased items if you say you got scanned of them. Also beards. So basically, when word about this got out, everyone went ape poop about it. I'm gonna say that, because that's literally what happened. There was multiple people, and like, people that were previously kind of rare, people thought they were super rare because they suddenly had these items. They're like, well, I'm gonna go get some free rares now, you know. But here's the thing, they weren't rare, because I'm gonna use that system that Julian 2 used to say, what if dirt turned to diamonds and diamonds turned to dirt? Here's the thing, why rares existed in the first place is because there were few of them. Since you're literally spawning them out of nowhere, they aren't rare anymore. Those items became unrare. The rares were useless. Anyone who made a top 10 rares list, those lists didn't mean anything because all those items were being spawned in out of nowhere. And I think what happened with the Forgotten Desert, I hope that this is Angel Jam's reaction to this, and I think they realized their mistake. And basically, in the Forgotten Desert, you can win all those items. So, I don't know if any, like, buddies are on. But, what was it? Oh, yeah, let's go sing. King is someone? Nope. Buddy glitch happened. Or not buddy glitch, anal thing glitch. Gosh dang it. They really need to fix that. I just looked at it. I was trying to find someone to look up later who had items. But basically, you can go into town and you can see people with long black spike collars and orange beards and like white gazelles and just all of these items because you can win them. And all I can say to this is thank Mira and Zeus, like both of them, like the child they had together, just thank all of them. Rares don't exist, and I am thankful for it. I don't know why that's still up. People can still try to scam you, but technically, items mean nothing. You can win anything, as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I know. Maybe not underwater items, maybe in that case, and still things exist, but hopefully they'll bring those out too, like in hard mode. Basically, rares don't exist, and items mean nothing. And this is great, because I hate rares, and I'm not gonna go into that why. Basically, they have done me nothing good in my life. I have had one spike, I will get into it. I have one spike in my time on Animal Jam when I was a member. It was a long red spike wristband, and I loved it. I overtraded for it, and I undertraded it away. It was awful. I loved it, but it was awful. I think I told you a story before of how I had, like, just a den full of Betamats, and I traded those away cheaply, like 4 of them for four like orange ones for nature archway, and then I gave that nature archway away. I didn't know how rares exist or how rares work, and I am thankful that it has gone. Well, den betas still kind of exist, I guess. I'm kind of fine with my den though. I don't think I can improve it much, just because of how awesome it is. You should come see it. I think yeah, it is unlocked. And the reason buddy quests are on, I don't accept any of them, is just because if I enter a giveaway, then I need to have them on. Otherwise, I turn them off. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the video now. It's been a pretty long video. But basically, rares don't exist, and I am thankful. To talk to you later, guys. I might actually make another video now because it's a good situation because nobody else is home. But, talk to you guys later now. Goodbye, my Kalanian subjects. Peace out. No, that's Toby. No. I don't know my outro. Whatevs.